What is up, guys? David Productions 119 here. OGs will remember this shirt. I used to always ball in this, which is the point of the video. Top 5 Jordan Retros to ball in, to play basketball in, whatever you want. I'm going to start out with 3 honorable mentions, then we'll move on to my top 5 pairs that I would play in if I had to. Obviously, Jordans aren't really my go-to choice in balling in. I have played in a couple of these before, actually, like these actual colorways, these pairs I have, and they've held up alright. So let's start with the honorable mentions first. My number 3 honorable mention would be the Jordan 3s. Just because, I don't know, something about this shoe, like, it's a nice shoe to play in. I would not play in these, though, just because they're kind of, like, flat-footed. Like, they're really flat on the bottoms, and besides, like, the little curves. But I would not play in these just because, I mean, they're comfortable. Like, I'll rather play in a pair of 3s than a pair of 2s, just because 2s are just, nah. But 3s are okay. Like, this will be my number 3 honorable mention. Alright, number 1 honorable mentions will be the Jordan 13s at number 2. Like any colors. I played in the Chicago and the Bread. They're okay. The traction's pretty good. Other than that, though, they're really stiff and it's kind of hard to move fast in those. I did play a couple games in both colors, actually, the Breads and Chicago's. Not really a big fan. And the number 1 honorable mention would be the Jordan 11s. Any colorway. The only problem with those are they're pretty tight on my foot. So actually, I would move those to number 2 and put the 13s at number 1, just because the 11s are really tight on my feet. But yeah, that's my top 3 honorable mentions. Number 3, the 3s. Number 2, the 11s. And number 1, the 13s. Now let's get to the top 5 pairs that I would play in. So number 5. Well, if I had to play. So number 5 would be the Jordan 1s. Particularly the Zoom ones, just because they have Zoom in them and they're a lot more comfortable, because these ones are not comfortable. Like, I have played in 2 pairs of ones, call me crazy, but I don't know, it's like the traction was so good on them that I played them, and it was also when I had my ankle brace on a while ago, just because like the ones have all this room in here, so like my brace fit perfectly in there. I played in the Hyper Royal ones, like the all blue ones with like the white swoosh, and then I played in the Lettermans. They're also a half size up too, and I was balling in them pretty well. I wasn't moving that fast in them. Also, my feet were hurting a lot in them. But if I had to play in a pair, I would try to get the Zooms, just because they have Zoom in underneath the insole, and it'll be a lot more comfortable than these, even though they're all leather. And some of the Zoom ones are kind of cool, like the Zoom Racers, the all black 3M Zooms, and then the green ones, whatever they're called. Those are cool. But if I had to play in a pair of Jordans, number 5 at number 5 would be number 1, just because like the traction is like the best traction. I'm not even lying. It's like the best traction for a Jordan I think ever out of all of them. But yeah, that's number 5. Let's move on to number 4. Number 4, we got the Jordan 6s. I have played in this colorway as well as the black infrareds. I mismatched them. I don't know why. I like doing that a lot. I mismatched the 13s and these. But this shoe is very, very, very weird. The traction isn't all the great, but it's a lot of support. It was kind of comfortable, I guess, back then when I was balling in them. I might put up a picture of my fit right here, possibly. I might as well. That's the only one I have a picture of. But yeah, the 6s are kind of comfortable. The one thing about these is that they're kind of loose on my feet. Like, even though the ones are really flat, I'd rather play in these just because I feel like they have a little bit more support. The traction was okay. The ones have probably the best traction, but their support is just way in the dumps. But the 6s, also, they got like a ton of heel support, and it's a lot easier to pull these up too. The one thing I don't like about the 6s is when I was playing with my ankle brace, I could not use these just because right here dug into my ankle, like right here, like this back part right here. I don't know if you guys can catch it on the camera, but that dug right into my ankle, and I couldn't like play in them because every time I would walk in them, I was wearing a pair of 6s the other day, and like my ankle was, I don't know why, just the back heel, like my Achilles heel was hurting. So that's the 6s at number 4. And some of you guys were like, I'm gonna ball in a pair of 1s and 6s. That's kind of crazy because the 6s are a lot more comfortable than the 1s. All Right, number 3 for this list, we got the Jordan 12s. And yes, I have balled in a pair of these. I believe I balled in the, what are they called? The Masters, I think I played in. And also the Flu Games, I think I played in. Which the traction was pretty worn down on those. But these have one of the best traction. Because Herringbone is the best Jordan traction. And it's the best traction of all time. And you guys see, this pair is pretty clean. Like, the bottoms are pretty clean for traction. This is the Taxis. I got these for a steal, but Jordan needs to re-release this color. Like this color is like one of the best OG colors ever. Now I like the gold tips on the fronts, but yeah, the 12s are good. And also the reason I love these is because they're full length zoom, and I think the 11s and the 13s had some kind of zoom thing in them too. It wasn't full length though, but these are way better than those, both of those. But yeah, the one problem with these is that these get really hot because it's all leather, of course. But yeah, I would definitely play in these again if I had to. Like, if I had to play in a pair of J's, I would probably pick the 12s. But the other two before this, or after this, are going to be the ones I'm going to have to play in if I have to. But yeah, these are definitely up there as one of my favorite Jordans to play in. And then let's go on to number 2. I have played in these also. I don't know why I have. The box again is that box, but it is the Jordan 5s, and you guys are probably, this dude's crazy. These shoes, honestly, like the traction is pretty good on them, and you guys can see these are worn, so I do wear my sneakers, but the traction on these is pretty good. I still have these just so this doesn't cut the tongue. But yeah, the traction's pretty good on these. This pair definitely is a lot better than the other ones, just because when I move the shoe tree out a little bit, you guys can see how soft and plush the leather is. I played in the old pair of these, like the 2013 Fire Reds, not this color, the other one with like the red on here and the black on here. Those, I don't like the leather. Like the uppers on those were terrible, but the traction was good and the support on my ankle was good. So this would definitely be my number 2, just because I have played in these, and I think I played in them for like 30-40 minutes. Like, and I was balling pretty hard in them. I was shooting a lot. But just the traction is just amazing. Like, and the colorway was really yellow. Like, the bottoms are really oxidized, and they were still performing pretty well. And if you guys did not know, if you unoxidize your bottoms of your shoes, it will lose a little bit of traction. So just be wary of that if you have like an older pair of these, and like the bottoms are yellow. It will make it more slippery if you try to deoxidize it with like this stuff. But it's also a good idea too if you want to make your shoes look better. But yeah, that's number 2 is the Jordan 5 Fire Reds. Not this is just the fire red color, but the Jordan 5 is number 2. And number 1, I don't even know how I figured this out, but this is my favorite shoe to play in, and I have played in these. I might insert the video of me doing just like some crossovers. It was not this exact shoe, like, but it was this colorway. It was the Cement 4s. This shoe, honestly, is just because of the traction. The traction on these is so good that you can ball in it. And look at the bottoms. They still have the stars. This is not the same pair I balled in. The other pair had a ton of heel drag and stuff. But this shoe is a really good shoe to play in, just because the leather is really soft in the uppers, and my other pair was really worn in. So the leather was really soft, and it had a ton of support, and the traction was amazing. That's the one thing about the 4s. That's why I like them a lot, just because they're flat. And I heard these are a really good workout shoe too if you want like a good base, just because it's really flat. Same with the 3s, but I like the 4s better. But yeah, so the traction's good on these. The support around your ankles, the wings right here with the waffles, they hug your ankles, which is good. Laces you can obviously tie tight. The only problem is sometimes this might dig into your ankle if you wear this for a long period of time. On some of the colorways, that like this is like a lot stronger. Like when they're brand new, they're really strong. Also, if you wear your shoes a lot, the inside of this will go more towards like the plastic and it'll kind of hurt. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but this is my number 1 pair of Jordans I would play in, just because of like everything. And this pair right now, it's kind of soft. You guys see it's a little bit creased, but like the leather is okay. It's not as good as the Fire Reds I just showed you. Like, look at the front real quick. It's almost there. It's almost the same. People saying this leather is trash. It's not that tumbled, you guys can see, but it's still kind of soft. So this is my number one pair I would play in, and these have held up okay. The only problem with this colorway in particular is the netting yellows, which I hate, but obviously you can't really avoid that. But this shoe's my number one Jordan to play in. But anyways, guys, that is the video. Thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna try to get those clips in I said I would, of like the playing the cements and then the infrared picture. But yeah, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'm out of here. Peace out, guys. Stay tuned for more videos. Let me know what kind of videos you guys want to see, and I'm out. Peace.